While most people overlook these modern coins, serious collectors know that certain varieties of the 2007 Montana and 2004 Michigan state quarters have commanded impressive prices at auction. These aren't your typical rare coins from centuries past, but rather modern treasures with fascinating stories and surprising worth. Let's start with the 2007 Montana State Quarter, part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. Released on January 29, 2007, this coin commemorates Montana's admission to the Union as the 41st state. The design features a striking bison skull resting above a sweeping Montana landscape, with the inscription "Big Sky Country" capturing the essence of Montana's vast, open spaces. What many collectors don't realize is that while millions of these quarters were produced, certain rare varieties have made specific examples highly sought after in the collecting community. The Montana quarter was designed by Charles L. Vickers and engraved by Donna Weaver, representing Montana's rich natural heritage and frontier history. The bison skull symbolizes the state's rugged wilderness and the iconic American bison that once roamed freely across Montana's plains. The landscape in the background depicts the rugged terrain that characterizes much of the state, from its majestic mountains to its expansive prairies. Montana, known as the Treasure State, joined the Union on November 8, 1889, following the discovery of gold in the 1860s, which brought settlers and fortune seekers to the region. What makes certain Montana quarters particularly valuable are the minting errors that occurred during production. While the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, a small number exhibit significant errors that collectors eagerly seek. The most notable error variety is the extra leaf Montana quarter, where an additional leaf appears on the design that shouldn't be there. This error occurred when a die was improperly prepared, resulting in an extra feature that wasn't part of the original design. These error coins are extremely rare and can command substantial premiums in the collecting market. Another valuable variety is the doubled die Montana quarter, where elements of the design appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. This doubling is most noticeable in the lettering and can significantly increase the coin's value. Additionally, some Montana quarters were struck on wrong planchets, the blank metal discs that become coins, resulting in coins that are either the wrong composition or wrong size. These off-metal errors are particularly desirable among specialized collectors. In terms of current market value, a regular circulated 2007 Montana quarter in typical condition is worth exactly 25 cents, its face value. However, error varieties tell a completely different story. A Montana quarter with the extra leaf error in uncirculated condition has sold for as much as $1,500 at auction. Double die varieties have fetched between $300 and $800, depending on the prominence of the doubling and the coin's condition. The most dramatic example occurred in 2019 when a Montana quarter struck on a Sacagawea dollar planchet sold for an impressive $3,525 at a Heritage Auctions event. One fascinating aspect of the Montana quarter is how it represents a new frontier in coin collecting. Unlike traditional rare coins that are centuries old, these modern errors demonstrate that valuable treasures can still be found in everyday circulation. The story of the Montana quarter errors highlights the human element in coin production. Even with modern technology, mistakes happen, and these mistakes can create valuable collectibles. Condition plays a crucial role in determining the value of Montana quarters, especially for error varieties. A circulated extra leaf Montana quarter with significant wear might still command $200 to $300, while the same error in gem uncirculated condition, MS65 or higher, could be worth $1,000 or more. For regular non-error examples, even pristine uncirculated specimens typically sell for just $1 to $2 to collectors assembling complete sets. Professional grading by services like PCGS or NGC can significantly enhance the value of error coins, as authentication is crucial when dealing with valuable minting mistakes. The Montana quarter also has an interesting place in the broader context of the state quarters program. By 2007, when the Montana quarter was released, collector interest in the series had begun to wane slightly from its peak in the early 2000s. This means that fewer people were carefully examining these later releases, potentially allowing more errors to slip into circulation unnoticed. For astute collectors, this represents an opportunity, valuable coins that others might overlook simply because they weren't paying as much attention to the later issues in the series. What makes the Montana Quarter particularly appealing to collectors in the 40-50-plus age range is its connection to American history and the tangible nature of the collectible. Unlike digital assets or modern investments, holding a Montana Quarter with a significant error is like holding a piece of American minting history, a physical reminder that even in our high-tech world, human craftsmanship and occasional errors create objects of beauty and value. For those who might have Montana Quarters in their possession, careful examination is key. The extra leaf error appears near the bison's horn on the obverse side, while double die errors are most visible in the lettering, particularly in Montana and Big Sky country. Using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help identify these subtle but valuable features. Even if you don't have an error coin, setting aside uncirculated examples in pristine condition could prove worthwhile for future collectors, as complete sets of the State Quarters program continue to maintain steady interest in the numismatic market. Now let's turn our attention to another modern marvel from the State Quarters program that might be hiding in plain sight: the 2004 Michigan State Quarter. Released on January 26, 2004, this coin celebrates Michigan's admission as the 26th state. Its design is instantly recognizable, a detailed outline of the state's unique two-peninsula geography, surrounded by the Great Lakes. The inscription "Great Lakes State" proudly proclaims Michigan's defining geographical feature. While countless Michiganders and tourists have handled these quarters, few realize that specific error varieties have transformed this common coin into a highly sought-after prize worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars to knowledgeable collectors. Michigan's quarter was designed by Donna Weaver and engraved by Norman E. Namath. The outline meticulously captures the distinctive mitten shape of the Lower Peninsula and the slender Upper Peninsula, connected by the Mackinac Bridge. The surrounding Great Lakes, Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario, are subtly rendered, emphasizing Michigan's unparalleled access to freshwater coastlines. Michigan entered the Union on January 26, 1837, after a territorial period marked by significant exploration, fur trading, and the burgeoning influence of the auto industry that would later define its 20th century identity. The quarter encapsulates this geographical essence, making it a favorite among state collectors. What elevates certain Michigan quarters from pocket change to valuable collectibles are specific minting errors that occurred during production at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. While billions of Michigan quarters were struck, a tiny fraction exhibit dramatic errors that capture the attention of serious numismatists. The most significant and valuable error associated with the Michigan quarter is the prominent double die reverse, DDR. This error occurs during the creation of the coin die itself, where the design hub is improperly impressed multiple times at slightly different angles, resulting in visible doubling on the final coin struck from that die. On the Michigan quarter, this doubling is most dramatically evident on the state outline and the surrounding Great Lakes. The doubled lines create a distinct, almost ghostly image overlaying the primary design. Finding a genuine, well-defined DDR Michigan quarter is like discovering a needle in a haystack, making them exceptionally rare and desirable. Other valuable error types exist for the Michigan quarter, though they are generally less common or less dramatic than the DDR. These include off-center strikes, where the coin design is misaligned with the planchet, leaving a blank crescent on one side. Value depends heavily on the percentage of off-centering and the coin's condition. Wrong planchet errors. Michigan quarters struck on planchets intended for other denominations, like Sacagawea dollars or foreign coins, are major rarities. These command substantial premiums due to their uniqueness. Clipped planchets. Coins struck on blanks that were incompletely punched from the metal strip, resulting in a straight or curved missing edge. While less valuable than DDRs, significant clips still add worth. Die cracks/breaks. Advanced die deterioration can cause raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. While common, dramatic die breaks affecting key design elements can attract collector interest. The market value for a standard, circulated 2004 Michigan quarter remains firmly at 25 cents. However, the story changes dramatically for error varieties. The double die reverse, DDR, is the star performer. A circulated example with clear, identifiable doubling might fetch between $150 and $400, depending on the severity and visibility of the doubling. In uncirculated condition, particularly grades MS63 and above, values escalate significantly. A well-struck, gem uncirculated, MS65 or better, Michigan DDR quarter has consistently sold in the $800 to $1,500 range at major auctions over the past few years. The record price for a top-tier example was set in 2022 when a PCGS-graded MS66 Michigan DDR realized an impressive $4,320 at a Heritage Auctions event, highlighting the intense demand for the finest known specimens. Other errors have their own value tiers. A significantly off-center strike, e.g., 50% or more off-center, in uncirculated condition could bring $200 to $500. Wrong planchet errors are the true unicorns. A Michigan quarter struck on a Sacagawea dollar planchet, if authenticated, could easily command $5,000 to $10,000 plus, though these are exceptionally rare finds. Even minor die cracks or clips in pristine condition might add $20 to $50 to the base value for specialized error collectors. One particularly fascinating aspect of the Michigan DDR quarter is its discovery and the community effort that documented it. Unlike some older errors found decades after minting, the Michigan DDR was identified relatively quickly by sharp-eyed collectors examining freshly released rolls in 2004. Online forums and coin publications buzzed with excitement as images were shared and the variety was confirmed. This modern discovery story underscores how the internet has transformed numismatics, allowing collectors worldwide to collaborate and identify new rarities almost in real time. It also demonstrates that valuable errors aren't confined to ancient coins. They are still being created, found, and cataloged in the 21st century. Condition is absolutely paramount when determining the value of a Michigan DDR quarter. The doubling itself must be distinct and readily identifiable under magnification. Often 5x, 10x is sufficient. However, the state of preservation of the coin dictates its final price tier. A heavily circulated example with worn surfaces and scratches, even with clear doubling, will only reach the lower end of the value spectrum. Conversely, a coin with full mint luster, no distracting marks, and sharp details, especially on the intricate state outline and lake borders, will command a substantial premium. Professional grading by PCGS or NGC is highly recommended for valuable DDRs. Authentication is crucial to distinguish genuine errors from common machine doubling or post-mint damage, and a numerical grade, like MS65, provides a standardized benchmark for value assessment that buyers trust. Even within the same error variety, the difference between an MS63 and an MS65 can mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The Michigan quarter also holds a unique place within the state quarter's timeline. Released in 2004, it was part of the 5th year of the program. Collector enthusiasm was still running high, but the sheer volume of coins being produced meant that meticulous quality control, while rigorous, couldn't catch every single die error. This combination of high production volume and intense collector scrutiny created the perfect environment for significant errors like the DDR to be produced, enter circulation, and eventually be discovered. For collectors today, this means there's still a chance, however slim, that a valuable Michigan DDR could be found in an old jar of coins or a forgotten roll, a tangible piece of modern minting history waiting to be uncovered. So, whether it's the rugged bison skull of Montana or the iconic Great Lakes outline of Michigan, these state quarters remind us that valuable treasures aren't always relics from centuries past. They demonstrate that modern coinage, produced in the billions, can still yield remarkable rarities through the fascinating interplay of mass production and human error. For the seasoned collector, they represent the thrill of the hunt in contemporary numismatics. For those who might have casually saved these coins years ago, they offer the exciting possibility that a quarter tucked away could be worth far more than its face value. Keep looking closely, keep appreciating the history and artistry in every coin, and you never know what hidden value might be waiting in your collection.